What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Super King Ghidorah, or SKG for short, coming to you with a video that I was supposed to make months ago. And speaking of stuff I was supposed to be doing, I want to first apologize for not uploading anything in the last few days. I've hit a bit of a snag once again. Stuff happens that's not in your control, and you take it one step at a time. But rest assured, I find different ways to keep my content coming to y'all, and this is one of them. Because today we're going to be talking about the Gene Guard Act, and more importantly, we're going to discuss how did Simon Masrani, bypass the Gene Guard Act. Because quick rundown is, after the whole San Diego T-Rex thing, the Gene Guard Act was passed, saying that you're not so, InGen specifically, or anybody really. In regards to dinosaur cloning, the Gene Guard Act said no more new dinosaur cloning. And the dinosaurs that were already created, that's it. The law was passed to protect them, keep people off of Isla Nublar, Isla Sorna, and no more cloning of the new dinosaurs. Well, in Jurassic World, we see that's clearly not a thing, because we had new dinosaurs, i.e. the Suchomimus and such. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so the existence of dinosaurs has always been a politically complicated subject. However, when the resort was destroyed in 2015, investigations into the incident unearthed corruption stemming before the park even opened. The Ethical Negligence Within Paleogenetic Resurrection, or ENPGR bill, was passed under the new simpler title called the Gene Guard Act. In 1997, it was a response to the San Diego incident. It was formed by the U.S. House Committee of Science, working with key members of InGen senior management. This act would extend existing dinosaur specimens the same rights and protections as other endangered animals, as well as restrict any further access to the islands owned by InGen. It is also prohibited any further cloning of new prehistoric fauna or flora by the company, which was committed at the time to upholding strict ethical regulations concerning the animals. These regulations will remain in place well after Masrani Global acquired InGen, but in 2003, high-standing members of the UHCS revised the strict laws surrounding the act and publicly stated their confidence in Masrani Global's promise to right the wrongs of the past. This new watered-down act, the Fortune 500 company, to pursue the growth of new animals to showcase at Jurassic World. However, just 3 months after the events of 2015, and separate from the inquiry into bioethical misconduct perpetrated by InGen in Jurassic World geneticist Dr. Henry Wu, the United States Congress announced it will open an inquiry into the potential violation of the Gene Guard Act. This came after several employees of Masrani Global and InGen stepped forward to disclose incriminating evidence against their employers. It was unearthed that many of the dinosaur species present on Isla Nublar were new species that had been cloned before the law was relaxed in 2003, and the change was passed by the UHCS via a corrupt and willfully misleading process. In 2003, a representative of Masrani Global, whose name was conveniently scratched from records, brought the Gene Guard Act to the UHCS, requesting to have the restrictions on further development be lifted for reasons of medical advancement. I'm using air quotes there, people. Per the report, the representative pledged they would entirely uphold the existing duty of care toward older specimens, but they requested the right to responsibly develop new gene splicing techniques as published. The advancement of these technologies, building upon old assets and creating new ones, would be used to safeguard against genetic abnormalities or hereditary diseases that will potentially arise during the life cycle of any of the animals, and could potentially extend to eradicating many such diseases that are prevalent in the animal kingdom and humans. Applications of this research would also extend to the surrounding wildlife and ecosystem around Isla Nublar. This was stated by a Masrani Global representative whose name is unknown, and this was around March 2003. The 2015 investigations discovered in a paper trail around the meeting that key members of the board were to, quote, bought and paid for to help turn back the clock on the Gene Guard Act, essentially harvesting rewards of the new park paid off by Masrani Global's profits. These members have since been discharged of all their legal duties, with some even serving some jail time. Information surrounding the illegally bred species surfaced online during the 2015 inquiry via an anonymous hacker known as Jurassic Hacker, who published sensitive engine documents. Key revelations included the new species that were grown in secret on Isla Sorna, which is also known as Site B, and that they were experimented on over a period of 9 months, started just 100 days after the company was bought by Masrani Global. Incubation was achieved covertly and quickly to evade attention. Only a select few engine members were involved, and their names have been removed from records. It is unclear whether Masrani Global's CEO, the late Simon Masrani, was aware of the violation of law. The research and growth of these animals were filed under early R&D for Jurassic Park's second incarnation and simultaneously amalgam testing. The new species included Ankylosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Corythosaurus, and Spinosaurus. All were abandoned on Site B until the surviving animals, were reported moved to Nublar to be housed as future attractions at Jurassic World. A number of these new animals had originally been reported by the survivors of the plane crash on Isla Sorna during the summer of 2001, but the information was quickly buried by bribed officials. The growth of illegal species and bribery amongst those who were assigned to uphold the law painted the act in negative colors, and its validity is frowned upon by the general public. As of today, the Gene Guard Act is essentially extinct, a consequence of the ever-changing political climate. It is safe to say, however, that the policies and laws regarding the protection of these animals have never been fully enforced, monitored, or locked in place. After almost 4 decades of misconduct, the legal protection of living dinosaurs requires stronger sanctions and strict care to ensure a safe future for both humans and dinosaurs. The Gene Guard Act may be gone, buried in bad press, but its principles still ring true. Not only do these animals deserve their rights, but their rights must be protected from those who repeat past mistakes. Okay, so basically the Gene Guard Act was just an example of how the law, just as in real life, can change. There have been plenty of bills passed and plenty of them later on repealed and overruled, or another law passed to affect that previous law from years prior. And clearly the Gene Guard Act was no different. If it had held intact, things might have been different. Things would have undoubtedly been different. Regarding Dr. Wu, would the Indominus have still been created? I believe so. Because, like I said before in another video, Dr. Wu is is a man that feels like he needs to create. Innovation is his thing, and he will not let anybody stop him from that. So, in regards to what happened to the Gene Guard Act, it was put in place and under complete and what was thought to be utter trust. It was put in the hands of another. It was diluted and put in the hands of another who trusted it to his science division, who abused it thoroughly. But with that said, everybody, I'm glad y'all stuck with me for this. For those that were curious to find out what happened to the Gene Guard Act, at least from me, I know this has probably been touched upon by Clayton already, but I wanted to do it myself and try to do my take on it. The Gene Guard Act and everything. And I'm glad we did. Got that off the board. So the next thing I think that we'll talk about is some dino ethical misconduct, but I'll save that for another video. Until then, everybody, I want y'all to take care, be safe, and this is Super King Ghidorah signing out, everybody. Later, y'all.